So a few weeks ago, my wife and I were at the mall at this place called Slackers. I'm not sure if everybody has this store, but here in St. Louis, there's a store called Slackers that sells CDs and action figures and movies and games and everything. And I was walking through there, and I happened to pass up this here. Now, what this is sort of like a old style Mego figure of Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. I saw that and I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I'd never had seen these before. And I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan, and I'm a really big fan of all horror films. So that's why there's so many reviews of horror action figures on here, because I love the genre. And then I was telling my wife, well, I wonder why they never made one with a mask. Because I'd never even heard that NECA made these things. This is a new thing to me. Christmas comes along, I'm opening up a package, and I find this in the package as a present from my wife. What this is Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And there is Jason with a mask. However, if you know Friday the 13th movies, you know that was the only Friday the 13th movie that Jason wasn't actually in. This is the ambulance driver from Friday the 13th Part 5. Spoilers! And I just thought that was the oddest thing ever, that not only did they make a action figure from Part 5, they made like a old style Mego figure with clothes and everything. Just so weird, so odd that they would do that. I don't think I've ever seen an action figure from Friday the 13th Part 5. It's one of those films that normally would not get an action figure because it's not Jason in the film. It's a person pretending to be Jason who's actually the ambulance driver. So the more I looked at this, I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool that NECA would, take their time and make a Friday the 13th Part 5 figure. And the strange thing about Part 5 is, even though I love Jason's original hockey mask, for whatever reason, I really like this version of it with the blue stripes on it. I don't know why. I think it's just kind of a cool looking mask. And I'm really curious to see what's under this mask. Is it going to be Jason? Or is it going to be the ambulance driver? Or is it going to be just some kind of random dude that they stuck a head on here? We're about to find out. So it's time to take a closer look at Jason from Friday the 13th Part 5. Actually, I believe his name was Roy in the movie, the ambulance driver. It's blister packed, which I really hate blister packs because they're terrible for collectors, because a lot of the collectors like to take these out of the boxes. And with a pack like this, you can't take it out of the box unless you destroy it. Actually, this is kind of a weird way to package a figure, because a lot of these blister packs, you'll see just the figure and that's it. But with this one, you have the figure and you have like a big display over here of artwork, which is really cool actually, where you can see it just says Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, but it has some brand new artwork of Jason holding some garden shears from the movie. And it's a really nice drawing of him, actually. I like the way they drew the mask and everything. It looks really kind of cool. And it has like a tree in the background with the leaves that's spread over the back of the figure itself. Everything in the package is also really nicely displayed, where you can see everything that comes with him. The back of the package has pictures of the figure in different poses. And on the bottom of the package, it does have some text telling you about the film and the plot of the movie. Alright, so let's open up the fake Jason from Friday the 13th Part 5. Like I said before, I've always thought this was kind of a cool mask. I don't know why I think it's a cool mask, but I just like the blue stripes on him. I think it's kind of cool, and they did a great job sculpting this mask. It's dead on to the Jason mask, and it's really kind of dirty, but it's not like super dirty like it is later on in the films. So yeah, the mask here looks fantastic. He has a full, real cloth outfit on, sort of like a jumpsuit, basically, kind of like what Michael Myers started wearing in Halloween. It's very rare to have figures that actually have real clothing on, so it's really kind of cool. And if you take a look here, it actually has mud stains on parts of the outfit. So it's really well detailed. I'm pretty surprised by this. On the front of his jumpsuit, it's actually held together with Velcro. So if you take it off, you can see sort of the body sculpt of Jason. His hands are really well sculpted too, and they're just all blood soaked. It's just really, really nice. This hand here is curved so it could hold his butcher knife. But you can take a look at the detail. Alright, so the one thing that I know you guys have been wondering, and I have been wondering too, is when I take the mask off, is it going to be just a generic Jason face, or is it actually going to be the ambulance driver from Part 5, who pretended to be Jason through the whole film? And we are about to find out. I'm going to find out when you guys do, because I have not yet looked at the face. So here we go. Wow, that's cool. That is really, really cool. Check that out. Sculpt here is really pretty dead on to the actor. That's just great. It's actually pretty hilarious. And you can see that he's actually wearing the Jason mask and the front revealed in his face. This is great. Take a little bit closer look at the Jason mask itself. You can see the fine detail, even has the strap here on the side. And this is sort of made out of hard plastic, you can't move it. Yeah, I love the sculpt of the mask. His head is ball jointed, even though you don't have that much movement there. He does have movement in his shoulders, and of course his elbows bend, and his hands rotate and bend as well. You can also turn his waist. Both knees bend. The feet do not bend side to side, but they do go up and down. Time to look at the accessories. Okay, first you have the cleaver. And look at this. It's just the details on here are just astonishing. I love the blood splatter up the blade of this. It's just so nice. Take a look at the handle here. The sculpting is so great. Each one of the holes where the screws are individually sunken in. And what's so fantastic is if you look at the side of it, it even has like the metal that continues down the middle of the handle like a real cleaver would have. Just fantastic detail. Next you have the garden shears, and these are just as fantastically detailed as the cleaver. As you can see, it has a screw and just everything that a real garden shears actually would have. Even the stopper there. And do they actually work? Yes, of course they do. And you can see the blood stain all over it. And it even has a serrated edge on the one side. So again, just incredible attention to detail on these. His last killing instrument is a gigantic knife. And just like the other two, you can see the extreme detail. I was really, really impressed by all of this. It has the hole here in the handle of the blade, and the actual handle itself is made out of wood, and you can see the grain that they carved into it. Even the end of it is realistic. And last, he came with another hand, which I don't really understand because it's almost exactly in the same pose as his other hand. I found out what the other hand was for is because this one actually had a bigger hole in his hand to hold the knife. So let's bring up the old Figometer and see how Jason, or Roy, I believe his name was, the ambulance driver from Friday the 13th Part 5 stacks up. I absolutely love this figure. I just think it's fantastic. From the really well painted mask to this. I mean, come on. You don't get much better than that. That's just fantastic. Really funny, and at the same time, just great detail. Just great attention to detail on that face. There is literally nothing bad I can say about this figure. I think it's one of my favorite ones I have owned. It's really too bad that they discontinued these, because now I have to go out and try to find all of them. On a Figometer, Jason from Part 5 gets an absolute 5 out of 5. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's It Figures. And if you do like it, please subscribe to the page. And I shall see you next time.